Hello, everybody. I believe we are live. All my systems are pointing to green. Not that there's a green thing. So, we're here. We're live. It is YouTube. It is Warhipster Live Hobby Hangout. I have had a fiddle with everything in my house. So you should be getting a super high quality stream. We're using my iPhone camera. We're using a HD camera on my face. Something that I'm usually quite uncomfortable about, but there you go. We got some Christmas music on. Don't worry, we won't have too much. I'm feeling very festive. Hello, Philip. Hello, Galatimus X. Hello, the Alex Beast. What up, A to the 40k homeboy. Hello, Grim Shroom. Hello, Dom. It is in fact Wednesday. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I am very, very well. How are all of you? I am in full HD. That's the fiddling that's gone on in the background. So whilst the stream might look exactly the same, there's been fiddling. We've even gone full YouTube streamer mode. And we've got a funky changing colour light background in the dark. Say what you will about Warhipster. But we do like to try new stuff all the time. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope you are all well out there. How is everybody on chat tonight? Before we get into it. Oh. This track's got some spice. Hello, Pikachu. I'm a big fan. Tired but well. I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad you're not. I'm not glad that you're tired, but I'm glad you're well. Thanks for the info on purple contrast dragons earlier. Just bought a few more contrasts to try and make it happen this weekend. That's awesome. I'm very glad. You are very welcome. Anytime. Anytime. No, it's not that stream, Dom. Do you want to see something exciting, guys? For those who haven't seen it on Instagram. As I said, we are going to be unboxing this. That's the title of today's stream. But we're also on the subject of purple dragons. We have some Stormdrake Guard. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So the video for these will come out tomorrow. There's another one. Video for the Stormdrake Guard coming to you tomorrow. You shall see it tomorrow, I promise. Right! Are you ready, guys? Should we get into some speed paints? Should we do it? Speed paints in glorious HD. I've not opened this box yet. The cellophane is still on it. That's how excited I am to do this. So, let's do it then, shall we? Ooh. Hey, Mikey. We're unboxing the Speedpaint Starter Set. We're literally doing it live. There we go. I have no idea what this is going to look like, as you can tell, because I've just taken the cellophane off. Where's my bin? I missed. Right, here we go then. Speedpaint Starter Set. We get 10 in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. There's a free brush included, and you'll all be pleased to hear, on the back, there we go, it does say somewhere on here that the mixer ball is included. There it is. Mixing balls preloaded right in the pot. So, don't worry. It's across the entire... set. So, let's open it up. Let's have a look, shall we? Right. Oh. Here we are. So we get, as per usual, the mini war game, the Army Painter painting booklet. Have they updated this with Speedpaints? Doesn't look like it. Quick shade, wargaming. Apply quick shade, large models, rock static grass and tufts. No, doesn't look like they have upgraded. Well, that was just a skim. But get that as per usual. It's actually quite useful. If you ever pick up a Army Painter set, do just have a read through of that because it's quite useful. And it's also good to see the range of products that the Army Painter has. Right, pop that over to one side. There we get this, the full range of 134 war paints, and a little thank you card. Isn't that nice? There we go. Do this now. Right, what do we get? Oh, that is a chunky, chunky brush. Look at that. The monster brush. You can tell it's new. Oh. That is a chunky brush. So, we're clearly going for the shade paint style that Games Workshop trialed with the contrast. Interesting. Well, there you go. That will definitely be useful for something. I'm not sure what though. Or maybe when we test them out in a little short while, we'll just use this and see how it goes. Shall we try that? Yeah, there we go. People are very excited about the purple. That's cool. So, the colours that you get in the Speedpaint set are as follows. High Lord Blue, Pallid Bone, and these ones that we haven't seen so far. Zealot Yellow, we have seen that one already, so we'll pop that one to one side. Gravelord Grey, interested in that one. Fire Giant Orange, seen that one as well. We get... Oh, come here. Orc Skin as well. We get Hive Dweller Purple. This is the one everyone's excited about. Crusader Skin. That'll be good to try out. Blood Red. It's a red that I know Chewie's excited about. And we get Hardened Leather. They look very different in person than they do on the box. In terms of their kind of... this colour. That looks way colder. Interesting. Same for the High Lord Blue, actually. Okay. Alright. I dig it. That's cool. So there you go. That's the range that you get in it. So Zealot Yellow, Fire Giant Orange, Blood Red, Hive Dweller Purple, High Lord Blue, Orc Skin, Pallid Bone, Crusader Skin, Hardened Leather, and Gravelord Grey. Now, I don't know how grey Gravelord Grey is going to be, but it's interesting that there isn't a black in there. It's It's very, very interesting. So, I know that last week it was requested that we try out some of these on some metallics. So what I've done for today is I've sprayed a Primaris Lieutenant with some Rune Lord brass, and we've sprayed a Primaris Lieutenant with some Corax white. So as recommended, that's the matte white rather than grey sear. Just to prove it, that one's grey sear, that one's white. There's not a whole lot of difference, but it is brighter definitely on this one. So I figured what we would do is we would try and use as many of these as possible, or indeed just test out a couple across these two minis. I figured what we would do is we would paint this guy as an Imperial Fist. And I figured what we would also do is we would paint this guy as a metallic Blood Angel. Now do let me know if you don't like that idea, and we can change the idea. We could do an ultramarine. We could use some purple. You know, do let me know what you think. But I figured that would be a good way to test this set. There you go, that's the 10. Now, as I say, I've already got Orc Skin, Zealot Yellow, and Fire Giant Orange. So I'm just going to trade those ones out. So they're brand new. And I've also got Holy White, which we saw last week. So I have 11 speed paints here. Paint him as a Knight of Macha. I could do. Please try the purple. I'll try the purple. Should we do a metallic purple Space Marine? Is that what you want? Is that what you guys want? A metallic purple Space Marine? I mean, we could just make it up as we go along. They don't have to be legitimate chapters, do they? Let's do that. Let's just make it up as we go along. How did you find the dropper bottles? For me, it was odd. I liked being able to control the amount on my brush with the old style pots. Yes, and I like that. Dropper bottles is weird for me. Right, here's my palette. So, okay, right. Okay, so as far as I can tell, guys, what you're telling me is you want a metallic purple Space Marine, and then you want a bone-coloured Space Marine. Is that what you want? Because we could do this guy, we could do as bone. And then this guy we can do as purple. Like that. Yeah? Again, just let me know if you think that's a good idea. And we'll add some red and all that kind of stuff in there. Yeah? We'll even use this monster brush. Yes, please. Okay, cool. Right. So as the brassy metal would work best with red, in my opinion, you're probably right, but we'll give it a go. As you can tell, mixer ball is in there, which is always really good. As many metal examples as you bother. Yeah, we can do that. So we can do like purple armor, and we could do like red on the Aquila, all that kind of thing. Don't you worry, we'll get it. In fact, if Adam is here, I could paint his chapter of Space Marines. His had purple with red shoulder pads. There we go. Job's a good one. Good evening, good evening, good evening to all those who have arrived. Right. Here we go then. As requested, Hive Dweller purple. So let's have a look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's quite a lot. Never mind. Right, Monster Regiment brush. Here we go. Oh, it's very thick. Right. Here we go then. Metallic purple. Let's have a look. Should we just be dead sloppy? It's interesting. It looks almost exactly like Shyish Purple. I'm really not a fan of using this brush, I'm sorry. It's too big. Alright, let me just sort this out because there's stuff pulling focus away. Right, how... There we go, that's better. Right. Old favourite. Medium layer brush. Now it's my understanding that there is a specific primer, not primer, medium for the speed paints from Army Painter, which is cool, just like when contrast medium. Move you out of the way. You're drawing too much focus. We just want to focus on our Rune Lord brass miniature. There we go. Now, as I say, I don't have a black, so any like kind of typically black details we might have to do with the grey. It's surprising that there isn't a black in there, to be honest. I would have thought that that would be in any starter set. But there you go. We'll have to see how dark the grey is. See, I think this looks quite good. Now I've already used quite a lot here. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more. Is that a bubble? Yes. Alright, there we go. That feels better. Right. Let's make a really weird looking Space Marine. It's a nice paint. I don't know why it's having such a hard time focusing on this guy. It's very odd. It's really good. I'm surprised. I am very pleasantly surprised. It's quite a pleasing colour. Quite nice to use as well. It's a bit tide marky because it's a dark paint, but you just need to make sure you keep going back to your little palette as often as you possibly can. And just try not to disturb it too much. Now this is the problem with like this style of painting, is that with the darker colours it's always easier to mess them up. There we go. It's still very shiny, which is very cool. You see how it's really kind of catching? It's definitely shinier. It's definitely shinier than the GW stuff. It might be that it's still drying, but there we go. Right, we'll pop that to one side. I think the purple's a successful one. Yeah, they do. It's really pulled back from the edge as well. Like just at that angle there, it looks dead nice. Yeah, so contrast over metallics generally does tend to dull it a little bit more, but we'll see, right? We're going to pop him to one side just for a little while, because we're going to move on to our next one, which will be our guy in white. Let me just clean that off because I don't want to get that. We'll come back and look at that once it's dry, because it might be that it's still wet, which is why it looks nice and shiny. Yeah, contrast does tend to dull it. It still has that kind of a sheen to it when you put contrast over metallics, but that's very interesting. If that stays the same once it's dry, I'm going to be very, very pleased. And I might have to rethink some ideas for next year. Right, this guy. Okay. What did I say for this one? Bone. We're going for... Yeah. Make sure it's nice and well shaken. Right, so we're going for like a Deathwing-esque colour palette with this guy, I think. That's what we're doing, right? I think it's struggling to focus at times because I think I need to just bring the camera that way a little bit. They might find that easier. Not really. It's doing a great job of making my painting mat look very nice. Anyway, how's the consistency compared to contrast? Yes, Warhammer Dad. They do have ball bearings in the set. And Jack, I don't know how much the set is. This was free. Army Painter have sent me this to try out, to test, and to make some videos for you. So I don't know about the price. So we've got 5 droplets of pallid bone. That's what we're going for now. The consistency is interesting. It definitely feels different. As it dries, it sort of turns more into... It feels more sticky. Whereas contrast kind of dries inwards like this. This stuff seems to dry like that. So it does feel like it disturbs the paint a little bit more. But here we go. Right. Pallid bone. This was the other one that was requested. So let's see what it looks like. Skeleton Horde is a very, very good paint. So it's going to have to be really easy to apply for it to trump it. Because Skeleton Horde for me just goes on so nice and easy. Because it's a brighter paint, right? And the lighter paints generally cover over on contrast a lot easier. This looks really nice though. I mean, it applies in the same way as Skeleton Horde. It's quite nice. I'm maybe being a little too cautious with it because I'm not familiar with the paint. Feels good though. I like it a lot. I always find a reasonably good test is the front of a Space Marine's leg. If you can get it to go on smooth there, you know you've got yourself a good paint. Seems to be a bit more bubbly than contrast, so that might just be because it's the new stuff. It's a nice colour. For those who watch the Tale of Many Warhipsters, it looks very, very close to the Desert Lions scheme, which is a bit cool. See, I think with maybe 1 or 2 drops of a form of medium, you've got yourself a really easy Deathwing here. Just based on those legs. I think it's very nice. This one's a winner in my book. I'd probably place it around about the same as Skeleton Horde. I mean, Skeleton Horde is a quality paint, so That's high praise, I think. For me personally, anyway. What do you guys think? I will look at the chat in just a minute, I promise. Right, let's get this on there. Yeah, Pallid Bone's a good one. It's a nice paint. Is it just me, or does this song sound like What Happens If Christmas Got Creepy? Have a very spooky Christmas. Backpacks. I dislike painting the backpacks. Bum, bum. Here we go. What do you think, guys? What mil is the bottle? It's 18 mils. It's nice. It's a nice paint. It's very, very skeleton hoardy, which is really good. There's our metallic purples. As you can see, it is still nice and shiny. Should be dry. Looks dry to me. I can't tell if it's just... No, it is. It does... That's the strength of Runelord Brass. See, Runelord Brass is a really good metallic spray paint. Underestimate it at your peril. It's good, isn't it? We'll continue. Now that some colours are just not going to work over the Runelord Brass. It's just not going to do anything. They're going to act more like shades. So what we'll do... Skeleton Horde is a very Nard one to beat. It's a very good paint. I'd say that is close to good. That and Skeleton Horde. I would probably say it doesn't matter which brand you go for. Just go for the one you like the most. I'd say that looks pretty good to me. That's very cool. Very impressed. Okay. I'm going to try something. So on this guy, I'm going to give him a gold Aquila. Can you show the box? Kind of came late into the stream. Yeah, that's fine, Ben. Here's the box. Speedpaint Starter Set. Speedpaint Starter Set. So you get yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, green, bone, Crusader skin, hardened leather, and Gravelord grey. It seems to me that Speedpaint do generally perform better than contrast on flat surfaces. That's fair. I mean, my experience so far is that they're the same. But that's me as a contrast painter. So it's almost like my word, don't take my word for it. In a weird way. But yeah, what I'm going to try now is I'm going to try, because this will be interesting, Zealot Yellow. 1, 2, 3. Let's just put 3 blobs of that on there. I'm going to try yellow over the brass, because this might give us a really nice, interesting looking gold. So just use a little bit. Because when you put Nazdreg yellow or Eandan yellow over Rune or brass, you get a really nice sort of gold. Yeah, it's not bad. Now, but I just overspilt a little bit there. Is that just purple just coming off? That's interesting. That's cool. That sort of works, but we'll find out. Does Speedpaint require a primer? Yes, it does. They recommend that you put it over a white primer like this one. So this is Corax White Primer. You won't just be able to put it over a bare plastic. It won't do the job. Right. Blood Red. What do you look like on the palette? Oh, you look very nice. Let's see what it looks like over this Aquila. That's a nice red. I like it. What's going on with this brush? Need to clean that one. Right, Blood Red. Let's use this on his helmet as well. It's nice. It's a nice red. Let's see what it looks like over a metal. This over his shoulder pads. Oh, baby. That's good looking. Thousand Suns, anyone? Doesn't that look good? Again, we'll reserve judgment until it dries, but... it goes on really nicely, actually, on that armor panel, the shoulder pad. Right, I'm going to try out the grey next. I want to see how dark this is. Hello, Kataro. Do you plan to recreate those shorts but with speed paint? I do plan to do that, yes, Ben. I plan to do a what it looks like speed paint and a what it looks like speed paint metallic. That is my goal. And I might even start those this weekend. Let's just use a little bit of this. Yeah, it looks like Basilicanum Grey. Check this out. That's a nice colour. I'm a little disappointed there isn't a black in the box, I must admit. I really wanted to see if their black was any good. It's a nice colour though. It is nice. This is over the metallic. It is just going to act like Nuln Oil or like Basilicanum Grey does. I have no qualms about that. I suspect over this sword. See? It's not unpleasant. It's very nice. Man, I am really... I'm really impressed with... the shininess of the metal does seem better. Yeah, it does. 100%. That's very cool. I mean, look at those shoulder pads, right? It doesn't matte it down as much as contrast does. As you can see, the light is still really catching off of our purple armor, which is really cool. Right, I now want to test the blue. I want to see what that looks like over this guy. Speedpaint Plus tutorials on the way. It could be. Could be. There will be. There will be. I promise there will. Right. High Lord Blue. What colour do we think this is? Ultramarines blue? Thalasar blue? What colour do we reckon? Let's put it over this shoulder pad. Oh, it's a nice blue. It actually looks like when I do my Hammers of Sigmar and I do a layer of Thalasar blue followed by a layer of Ultramarines blue. It looks like it's done that for me. It's a nice blue. It is a very nice blue. Brendan, we'll work on that together because I need to get the entire range of speed paints. And then just... Oh, I've just touched that. Oops. My mistake. There we go. That's where we're up to. So far we've tested High Lord Blue, the Purple, Gravelord Grey. Last week we did Orc Skin, Zealot Yellow, Fire Giant Orange. So we've done that one. We did Holy White as well. We haven't done Hardened Leather. We've done Blood Red. I'm impressed. Done Pallid Bone. So we've got Crusader Skin. Hardened Leather. That's the only two we haven't used yet. Hardened Leather and Crusader Skin. Can you mess up a bit on purpose to see if it blotches to the same level? I can try. Do you want me to just like... to see if it blotches to the same level? Yeah, I tell you what we'll do in a minute. So I've got this Necron here. In a minute, I'll just use the monster brush and just whack a colour over that and we'll see. Yeah? How's that? I will do a colour comparison. Grimshroom is here, who I believe is the admin of the Citadel Contrast Painters group on Facebook. If you're not a member of that page, you should be a member of that page. Go and be a member of that page because there's some awesome contrast work on there, including myself. I occasionally drop a little picture of what I'm working on. As previously shown in the stream, we have Stormdrake Guard. Woo! Video coming tomorrow. Did someone become a member earlier and I missed it? No, doesn't look like it. If I did, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to miss it. Yeah, I'll try and mess one up in a minute. Sorry, was what I was saying before. I am just going to quickly try this Crusader skin out. I'm running out of space on this palette. Pop it there. Where's that brush gone? There it is. I want to see what this looks like on his face. We'll get nice and close here. Right, Crusader skin. Here we go. See, I'm having a lot more troubles with air bubbles with this stuff. Than I do with contrast. So I'm not sure. Either that's my technique or it's the paint itself. That looks pretty good. It's a little heavy in the recesses. Oh, it mops up just the same. That's always good. Yeah, it's good. It's good paint. Good paint, that. It does feel like they do take a... Hey, I didn't understand the name of the Facebook group you mentioned. Could you repeat, please? Oh, yes, sure. It's the Citadel Contrast Painters. Let me just make sure I've got that absolutely right. Yeah, Citadel Contrast Painters on Facebook. Go and check it out. I've got it open here on my computer. Could the air bubbles just be because of the agitator ball in the bottles? It could be, yeah. Do you know if Army Painter will sell a medium light contrast medium? I love to use it with contrast like you teach us. Yeah, apparently there is one. In the Mega Paint set for Speedpaint, you can see it. It's in the back. There is a Speedpaint medium. Contrast medium will work just as well, but I'm sure. I'm going to test out this brown now. Let's see what it looks like on the palette. Oh, it's nice. It's chocolatey. It looks like Griff Charger Grey. Not Griff Charger Grey. What am I on about? Gore Grunter Fur. Oh, welcome to the channel, Grimshroom. Thank you very much for joining. Oh yeah, that's definitely Gore Grunter Fur. Ah, so look, there you go. That looks like it could definitely be used to paint one of Kragnos or Karazai. That's a really nice brown. Now we've got a little splodge there. See if it just mops up the same. Yeah, it does. It does feel like the paints dry out quicker. You know, in the darker ones at least. It's going to be one of those things where you have to just sit and kind of play with them. Kind of get the hang of them. It's like Gore Grunter Fur. It is nice. Hello, Helena. Sorry, Sylvia. Sorry, Silver Paints. Hello. It's nice. This is a nice set of paint. I like this set of paint. So, just as a quick little sort of mention, we did that Zealot Yellow over the Rune Lord Brass there on the Aquila. That's given a really nice gold, as you can see. Is the beige one of the new paints? Yes, Jacko Ghost. The beige is Pallid Bone, this one. So, on this model so far, we've got Pallid Bone, we've got Crusader Skin, we've got High Lord Blue, we've got Hardened Leather, we've got Gravelord Grey, and we've got Blood Red. That's all on here. On this guy, he was primed. Oh, that one was primed with Corax White. This one has been primed with Rune Lord Brass, and it is super shiny, and it's really cool, and it's very exciting. Let's use Zealot Yellow over that helmet just to really see if it works. Definitely going to pick these up. That's very cool. The blue has dried perfectly. It's dried spot on. The red has as well. I don't know how well you can see that. I was a little bit heavy with it on this shoulder pad, and there is a blob on there of purple, but that red looks absolutely breathtaking over the Rune Lord Brass, it has to be said. Right, Zealot Yellow. I'm going to just put this over this helmet just to see if it definitely worked. So, here we go. Woo! Oh, there's some detritus on my brush. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So, Zealot Yellow over the top of Rune Lord Brass. It's a little heavy, so I'm just going to wash my brush. So if you look here, it's very heavy in there. Although that is a really nice, like, kind of glowing red lens in there. So I'm just going to leave that. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to dip a clean brush into that little section like that, just to mop up that excess. There we go. The shiniest of all the Angels Palatine. He's here. What do you reckon, Adam? It's Rune Lord Brass and then some speed paints over the top. It's a bit rough because I am speeding through and I am getting used to it, but I really like this effect. I think these speed paints over metallics are a real... They're a real painter's trick here. I think you're in with a good shout. I'm looking forward to doing what it looks like speed paints. Wonder how the dune would look like over grey sear. Pallid bone? Yeah, that metallic effect is very cool. No, it definitely would, Adam. It looks very nice. It's just so shiny. It's really cool. I'm very, very impressed. So, what I think would be interesting to point out here is, guys, because it is so very shiny, the bits that you don't want to be shiny, you will definitely have to paint in with either classic method paints or paint like some grey seal or some race bone or even some white over them to then do them so that they're not metallic. Because it's, as we can see from this display right here, as we can see, they are very, very, very shiny. So you don't want to have, like, for example, shiny paper. That would be weird. You don't want that. So we would definitely need to just coat those over with a white. Or indeed, if you just wanted to kind of get the main armor color, for example, you were doing Angel's Palatine as shiny purple boys. You'd want to spray them with the Rune Lord Brass, and then put the shiny paint on, and then you'd want to go back in and coat the rest of it in with the, you know, standard paints. Pallid Bone, keep forgetting the name. I can show you it in a minute over Grace here. That's what it looks like over Corax White, which is very nice. You know, as a base for Deathwing, all this needs now is like a layer of Screaming Skull, and you're good to go. And even if, I think if you thinned that down, do you think matte medium would hold up to take the shine out? Probably do something. Probably would do something. I am paranoid about using varnish, always get frosting. I am exactly the same. That's why I never do it. I never varnish my miniatures because it has always frosted every time I've done it. You got a sticky keyboard? What did you say, Marty? Hello, Gotkin Gaming. Brush varnish. Yeah, it's just... Or airbrush. Yeah, see, in my line of work... I think if I varnish my models... airbrush and a drop of thinner. Yeah, I need to get an airbrush. I just need to get an airbrush. That's it. I need to buy one. I painted Tomb Blades gloriously happy, and then they frosted because I sprayed on too cold a day and had to go back and repaint them. Yeah, see, that is pretty much the problem for me with almost all varnishes I've ever tried, is that they pretty much immediately make my models look like they've been out rolling in the snow. Because you have to be able to, you have to spray them on a perfectly hot day with the wind facing in a southerly direction, with the humidity at the right level, whilst you sacrifice a goat. And as long as you're wearing the colour yellow somewhere, you'll be fine. Otherwise... I'll confuse some varnishing advocates, because not only do I not varnish my minis, I then put them in phone cases. Okay. What are we doing now? What are we doing next? Oh, you wanted me to see me... Maybe I should wait with my coloured metallic armour project. Maybe. I think there's definitely merit in these speed paints being used to do metallic minis. I genuinely... It's very, very cool. Again, it's a shame I don't have the black to be able to test out doing some black recipes for you. The black does not come in the Speedpaint Starter Set. How do they behave on flat surfaces compared to contrast? To me, they perform pretty much the same. So in some ways, I am the worst person to do reviews for these, because I can't really... Oh, that's what we were going to do. We're going to force myself to do it badly, weren't we? Over this poor Necron. Well, just to rush it. Right, everybody, I want you to pick a colour for me to do this with. And I'm going to use this massive monster brush that they've given. I think if I had to criticise the starter set, I would say this size brush in it is a mistake. I think it should be a regiment brush that's in that box, because this is a huge brush. It's really nice that it's in there, and this will definitely go into my, you know, into my work. But that size brush with these paints, I think, is blue or red. When are we going to get Josh Fest in 2022? Warhipster Con, Bad Moon. It's possibly going to be in June. Discussions have been had. Plans will be made. We want the blue, we want the orange. I ruined 2 of the best painted figures I had done up to then with Citadel spray varnish. Bloody awful stuff. Yeah, again, it's one of those things with Games Workshop. The one thing that I just kind of tell people don't get from Games Workshop is the varnishes. Just because I personally have never got on with them. I know that Storm Shield is pretty good. But Purity Seal was the old tin I had, and it was a rubbish tin. How are they comparing to Contrast so far? They compare very nicely to Contrast so far. I like them. Over Grace here, the palette bone. Okay. We want to do the bone. And this is going to be my messing it up one as well, on purpose. Frosting can be fixed with a gloss coat. Can it? That's cool, Lazy Bum. You'll know better than I. I've done varnishing maybe twice in my life. And both times it was an unmitigated disaster for me. Right, pallid bone over this Necron, and I'm going to try and do it badly. Going to try using this gigantic brush. So I'm just going to layer it up. I do have some more Necrons. I can do this over. These poor Necrons. They've stood patiently waiting for me to paint them since Indomitus came out. I need more. I've already run out. What have I done with it? Pallid bone. There you go. So we do have some splodging and blotching. And this is what it looks like over Grace here. So I'm just going to try and pull this splodge off the back here. Yeah, it works. So these speed paints, just so for those of you interested in buying them, they are not out yet. You'll be able to get them soon, I believe early 2022, but they're not out yet. So you'll have to wait a little while. So as you can see on this palette, that is how long it takes for this stuff to dry. So there's the purple that we started with. As you can see, it's all still drying. So I think... Bruno, yes, I do remember you. Acquired them on the black market. I was very kindly sent these by Army Painter early to try out and make some videos for. I'm very, very grateful to them. Because these are very cool paints. A lot of stockists are doing pre-orders now. Yeah, so like I know that Goblin Gaming are doing a pre-order. Element Games might be. Could you blindfold tell the difference? Could I? I think I could, yeah. I've got some examples here. So this is from last week where we did... so this is the orc skin. So this is orc flesh. That's the Citadel contrast. And that's orc skin from Speed Painter. This was a clear winner. It's a really nice colour. And it goes on a lot smoother than orc flesh does. To be fair, I was being a little bit slapdash with this one. But yeah, you can definitely see a difference between those two. Some it's harder. So for example, there's our Zealot yellow and our Yandan yellow. Who knows which one is which? I know which one is which. The starter set says £36.45 on RRP on Wayland Games. There you go, £36.45. Anyone give up? Alright. Warhammer Dad says that's one Zeandan on the left. Marty says that one's Zealot yellow. Citadel on the right. It's a good job we've got a HD stream today, otherwise this would be really unfair, right? I'll tell you the answer. This one is contrast paint, this one is Zealot yellow. So that one's contrast, that one is speed paint. We've got another one. We can keep playing this game 2 more times. There we go. So one of these is Fire Giant orange and one of these is Gryph-hound orange. Which one is which? Grey Seer, does the base coat matter too much with speed paint? I think it does to a certain extent. We'll be able to compare white and Grey Seer in just a moment. Left is Fire Giant. Okay. Army Painter on the left. Left is AP. Contrast on the right. Yeah, you guys have nailed this one. Yeah. That one is Army Paint, Speed Paint. This one is Contrast Paint. The one in the middle. Last one that I've got a direct comparison for is the white. Which one is which? Apothecary right on the left. Contrast on the right. Left is army painter, left is army painter. Apothecary looks murkier. Contrast on the right. Right, apothecary white. Yeah. Holy white is disappointing. You are correct. This one is Holy White and this one is Apothecary White. Holy White, Apothecary White. Do 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 do. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Right. So there's to answer the question earlier. That is pallid bone over Corax white. That is pallid bone over grey sear. I don't think it seems to matter too much. This one definitely feels a bit brighter. But these are both pallid bone. So, as you know, I've painted these before you. I've painted these before your very eyes this evening. So yeah, that one is over Corax white and that one is grey sear. I mean, the primers themselves don't look too different. It's just this one's got like a little bit more brightness to it. Now, the way that I paint with contrast paints, I think the way that I paint almost doesn't quite lend itself to speed paint because we're getting less highlights with speed paint than we are with contrast paint. And I think that is very, very, very much in abundantly clear with these two. So like you can definitely see the highlights on this one rather than that one. This one is quite a flatter color than this one. So it's interesting. And I think what that then means is that when you get you don't get as much highlights, it does mean that the speed paints can look a little washed out. They're not. They're doing the darker bit and they're doing the sort of main tone of it, but they're not doing that highlight bit as well. Because I think the contrast is, whilst runnier, it wicks away from the edges a lot quicker than the speed paint does. That's just my 2 cents, at least, anyway. It's very cool, though. Very, very cool. Right, there's one more I want to test on this Rune Lord Brassy fellow for the weirdest looking Space Marine armor. And that is Orc Skin. I want to see what the green looks like over Rune Lord Brass. It might look horrible. So I'm going to paint this over this little section just down here. Because I've got this idea, I've had it for a while, of doing metallic salamanders. And this might really work. It's interesting. Let's do it over this as well. That's very cool. I'm so impressed. Where would you suggest that they could be more useful than contrast? I think... Yes, you can, Adam. I think these have got a lot of utility in doing exactly this kind of thing. Doing like metallic armies. Because look, just looks so shiny and beautiful and lovely. I think they've also got some utility in just kind of, specific details. It'll be interesting to try them on a vehicle. I haven't done that yet, but I will. The problem is, I don't have the whole range. So I don't have, for example, I don't have the black. I don't have the other red that they're doing. I don't have a pink. So I can't do a full painting tutorial, unfortunately. Because I really want to test their black. That for me is... I would guess, based on the experience that I've had so far with the 11 contrast, 11 speed paints that I've used so far, I would guess that the black actually might be better than Black Templar. That is my guess. My guess is that the black will be better than Black Templar, because these do generally tend to have a kind of a sort of flatter finish. So it might be that you don't have to do so many pre-shades. But that's one of the other things I really want to test, is doing my pre-shades. So I do a lot of different black recipes, as you know, using Ultramarines Blue, Pterodon Turquoise, Shaiish Purple, Basilicanum Grey, then Black Templar, to give us very different styles of black. What I'm very interested to find out is whether or not you can do the same, whether or not you have to do the same thing with army painters, or whether or not the black works just on its own. Because Black Templar does just work on its own when it's smaller details. When you're trying to paint a Space Marine using Black Templar on those flat panels, it does just come out like a sort of dark grey, which isn't a problem. It's just not what you want. Particularly if you're doing something like Raven Guard or Iron Hands, right? You could try on the base, that's flat. Well, I suppose. I use Black Templar for the weapons. Yeah, so Black Templar over like a weapon, because it's reasonably small, it looks black. As soon as you start doing it over quite a wide space, it starts to look grey, which is why I then do the pre-shade quite a lot. One, to change the properties of the black, so you get that kind of darker blue-black that, things like the Death Watch and the Raven Guard have. Whereas if you do something like Shaiish Purple, which is something that I've done quite a lot, that gives you quite a sort of, it's cold but sinister sort of black, which is what I've done on the Black Templars recently, and also on the Shadow Keepers for the Adeptus Custodes. The other thing is Basilicanum Grey first, which is just kind of my generic standard black if you don't really know what you want, because then you can highlight it from anywhere there, and you're not getting, that's just getting sort of just a black. Pterodon Turquoise I used as Pterodon Turquoise followed by Black Templar. I used that on Abaddon because he's got a very specific look. Same on Drazar as well, I believe. Or maybe that was Achillean Green first. Yeah, painted 36 witches over the last 1.5 months. Borrowed many ideas from your Lilith Hesperax video. Oh, that's awesome, Synthus. I'm so happy. I really enjoyed painting Lilith. And then nobody really seemed to care. It's one of those videos that I thought would do really well. And then it didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. Clearly people don't like Lilith. And I think a large degree of the comments on it were like, I prefer the old model. And I was like, oh, okay. Raven Guard, Iron Hands, Black Templars, Deathwatch, Raven Wing, Dark Angel. I haven't done that. Oh, was it Pterodon for Drazar? Okay, awesome. Raven Wing. I haven't done Raven Wing yet, but it would probably be a blue first because they have, quite a shiny. You cared. Aw, thank you. Would be nice if Armor Painter had something that I might buy, because I won't be buying any of their normal paints. They're not very good at all. That's fair, Johnny. Painting Dark Angel's Repulsor. Would you pre-shade Warp Lightning? Yes. In fact, Warhammer Dad, have you checked out my Combat Patrol video? Because I do a Redemptor in that. Hello, Fred. How are you? I emailed you back. I don't know if you saw. I'm sorry it took me a while to get to you. I was just obsessed with dragons. Was going to try Flesh Tearers Red, then Black Templar for my Dark Squigs. That'll be really cool. What I would do for that is I would just do one-to-one mix of Contrast Medium Black Templar over that. And you'll get more of that red shining through. Just a little bit more. You have 3 Dark Angels videos and all painted differently. I know. I'm sorry. Lazarus was different to the Intercessor, which was different to the Combat Patrol. But in the Combat Patrol video, the Redemptor section, that would be how I would do the Repulsor. Another brush liquor, that's not necessary and is a really, really stupid thing to do. Stop this action. Oh, well. Sorry. Dragons. Yes, the Alex piece. Dragons. 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 Who loves dragons? That's how I get the point back on my brush. There are so less videos on Drakari on YouTube. I need to do some more Drakari videos. I've got the models planned out for all of the cults and all the cabals. I haven't got the covens, but I've got the models painted. Well, I've got the models ready. I just need to get around to doing them. Alex Beast. Well, I'm very glad. Here's another dragon. Dragon! You're thinking about maybe going bigger. Oh, Fred. You tempt me, sir. Just let me know. And we'll talk. You want covens, Josh? I don't want to... This isn't for my Drakari army. It's just for doing the Drakari tutorials. I refuse to have a Drakari army. My Xenos army, I'm fairly convinced, is going to be the 8 plus some Fire Warriors for the Tau. Will we be seeing any Nighthaunt painting tutorials? Yeah, we will. I want to know when their book is coming out. And then I'm going to try and get a hold of a box. Ooh, the dragon that defies the contrast bottle. Yes. Yes. Karazai. What was really interesting about that was, despite the fact he knocked it over, he was completely unwounded on his wing. See? He was absolutely fine. There's no blob of contrast on him. And there is a new Tau Codex coming. Hello, Ben. I had an argument with someone about the difference between dragons and wyverns. They looked at me a little funny. Hello to you in Russia. Right, what do you want me to do next, guys? Is there anything else you'd like me to try and test? Specifically. I'm really impressed with these. So I'll show you this one more time. So there we go. There's our metallic. I mean, just look at that tummy plate. And the thing that's really cool about this, over at the Rune Lord Brasses, I would not now do any highlights to that. I would leave that as it is. The green looks quite nice. But I think it would need a darker green to be a good salamanders, or maybe a second coat. And I don't know if a second coat would really last well with these Army Painter paints. Army Painter Speed paints. Taste test. I'm not doing a taste test. I'll go downstairs and Alice will be like, what happened? As soon as the new Eldar drop, you will be buying them just like I will. Probably. Or maybe someone will ask me to paint them for them. Which would be nicer, because then I don't have to buy them. I plan to use 4 schemes out of the green spectrum to do my Drukhari. Witches are a classic sea green with black leather. Cabal with a bright green like Dark Angel. Still not sure about Covenant and HB? Anyone else have horrendous luck with getting a deal on eBay? I need more Crimson Fists content. Speaking of asking you to paint stuff, hint hint. Hired blades. Oh, hired blades, right. Okay. See, I don't know too much about Drukhari. All I know is I got beaten horribly by them. I got put over barrel. Do you do commissions for the United States? Yeah, I could do. No one from the United States has asked me to paint any minis for them, but yeah, that would be fine. I wonder what's next. Overall, let me just give you my final thoughts on Speedpaint. And as I say, I am going to do, so expect in the coming weeks what it looks like Zealot Yellow, what it looks like Pallid Bone, Crusader Skin, Hardened Leather, Hive Dweller Purple, Gravelord Grey, High Lord Blue, Blood Red, Fire Giant Orange, Holy White, and Orc Skin. I am going to do the same series of shorts on these. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 23 in the range, so there is 12 more for me to get, as well as the medium. So we will do another one of these streams. Overall, how do they taste? Okay. Shall I be super YouTubery and say something like highest super chat, or the next super chat gets to choose which one, and I'll just put a drop of it into on my tongue. It's gonna be horrible. And I'll tell you how they taste. How's that? How's that for a deal? Watched a video on YouTube. It's seen that their green colour is more saturated than that of Citadel. It's a nice green colour. I'll show you the difference. Shot. There's the Orc Skin. That's the Army Painter one, and that is the Citadel one. I really like this. I think so. I mean, so far, I say this one's better than Orc Flesh for sure. Definitely better than Orc Flesh. That's about the same as Guilliman Flesh. I like it. Don't threaten me with a good time. But you didn't pick one there, Mr. ADR Wargame. Mr. 5-minute 40k. That's nice. It's like Gore Grunter Fur. Orc Skin is definitely very tempting for salamanders. A good test would be to do a metallic salamanders with that. I think maybe over Lead Belcher. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ah, there we go. Okay, we've got purple and blue. Alright. This is going to be horrible. I'll do a blue. We'll see what that tastes like. And then we'll do a purple. And then I'm never doing this again. Okay? I'm never doing this again. This is going to be really horrible. I'll do the blue and then I promise I will do the purple. Clip this for the clips channel. Oh, that's horrible. Oh. I promised a drop on my tongue. That's me with a blue tongue for the rest of time. It's non-toxic, right? Yeah. Yeah, non-toxic. I mean, it doesn't have a lingering aftertaste, which is nice. I seem to have joined at a very strange time. You have joined at a very strange time. It's an unpleasant taste. It tastes exactly like you think it would. It's just unpleasant to taste. Now try it. This feels so dirty. Okay, I'm not going to go straight for the pot like that because I really worried then that I was about to start pouring it in. I'm just going to put a blob of that on my... See, that actually tastes different. It's still horrible, but it tastes different. I like how he shakes before tasting. Well, you want to make sure it's nice and mixed, right, Chewy? You want to get all the flavours. Whew. Right, never doing that again, ever. That was horrible. Thank you very much for the super chats. The purple was more pleasantly tasting than the blue, but they were both equally horrible. I better not be ill now. It's non-toxic. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just tongue paint all the minis. Very good, Grim Shroom. I prefer my paint shaken, not stirred. Cooking with Warhipster. And next up, what we're going to do is we're going to use a few little droplets of Hive Dweller Purple. This will give our frosting a nice, horrible taste, but a really nice, vivid colour. So the grape one was better. Yeah, the grape juice was better. Grape tasted nicer than Gatorade. No, what's that? No. Is it Gatorade? What am I thinking of? Powerade. Grape juice was nicer than Powerade. I am very, very impressed with Speedpaint overall. I think would be my summing up. Cease and desist on its way from Army Painter. Listen. I think an important part of a review of any hobby product is how it tastes. Thank you very much, Cherry. I will go and use the mouthwash after this, don't you worry. You should change the names of the paints in your vids to what they taste like. I could, Ben, but that would mean that I'd have to taste all of them, and I really don't want to do that. Saliva is the new speed paint medium. Please don't lick my Titan. I will not lick your Titan, Fred, I promise. I promise. Hand on my heart. Promise. I don't know what else to do. Except oil/enamel paints. Taste tests for those are a bad idea. Yes, they are. They are. Thanks, Ben. That sounds like a you problem to me, Chief. You can add in the taste description for all the paint you use in your videos. Did I miss the flesh tone? I used the flesh tone on this guy's face. If you'd like to see it up close and personal. It's nice. It is a nice tone. It actually, so interestingly, I think that performs better over white than Greyseer, than Gilliman Flesh does. How does the colours mix? Interesting. Should we see? Should we see what happens if we mix a blue and a red together? Let's do it. Do it on the palette. We'll use 1 drop of blue. And we'll use 1 drop of red. This should give us a purple. Bosh. It's going to be useful for that if it works, you know. Where's my brush? There it is. Let's just do it over this, see what it looks like. The answer is, it looks like Hive Dweller Purple. You can't really see it, it is dark. I have just done it over the top of a colour, so that'll be why. I'm going to try and thin it down with some water plus. Let's see what that looks like. Add loads of it. Yeah. It thins down quite nicely. Let's use this on this guy's hair. Yeah. Could you put a photo of all the what it looks like samples side by side on Instagram so we can compare different colours more easily? Yes. Bertie Bott's every flavoured paint. 1 drop of Powerade and 1 drop of tomato soup. I think I would really alienate some members of the community if I started describing all of my contrast paints as liquid foodstuffs. Next week, paint strippers. No, Philip. We're not tasting those. Those are definitely toxic. How do you prevent your paint from drying out too quickly on your palette? I find that mine dries out way too quickly. That is an age-old question. I mean, a lot of people here would recommend using a wet palette. I personally don't use a wet palette because water does something weird to contrast, and I don't like it. Ultimately, I think you've just got to judge the ratios right. So, for example, if you're doing a large model, you're going to use a paint a lot, and you're using like a 3-to-1 mix. Make it 6-to-2. It's wasteful, some might say, but it will go further. And actually, just having a little bit of like Lamium medium or something, just to add it in every so often. Thank you very much, Marty, for hanging out. I hope you have a good sleep. Thank you so much, Jacko. Thank you for the sub. You're very welcome. Again, I hope you enjoy a nice sleep. To answer your question, Dave, yeah, I will do some photos. The hardest part of them is how to photograph them. I really struggle with that because, like, if you use too much, I tried to do it before and it was like the light just wasn't right. I think what I need to do is I need to mount them on a piece of paper, stand it up, because when you're trying to take a photo of it like this, like that, and then you've got your light over the top of it like that, it's just you've got the shadow of the phone, which then changes the color of what they look like. So just trying to get the pure color. So yeah, I will figure it out. What I think I'm probably gonna have to do is mount them on some white card, and then take the pictures like that way on. But yes, they will be out, the speed paint and contrast paint. And what I'm also probably gonna do is in each of the videos is this is what it looks like over. This is what blood red looks like over Corax white, and that's what it looks like with contrast paint, and compare them side by side. Did I miss the speed paint tests yet? Yeah, we've done quite a few Azon 85. I'll show you the fruits of our labor today. So what we've done is we've done a bunch of them. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paints over Corax white, and we've done this one over Runelord brass to show what they look like over metallics. Now they look really, really good over metallics, like surprisingly good over metallics. They still got that shine. I've done nothing to that other than just put grey Hive Dweller purple over Runelord brass, and that one is blood red, and that one is orc skin, and that one is zealot yellow. And there's Gravelord Grey. Gravelord Grey? Yeah, Gravelord Grey. That one there is Pallid Bone, High Lord Blue, Blood Red, Gravelord Grey again, and then some hardened leather as well. I heard you played a game on Tabletop Tactics. I did, Dr. Shattersphere. It is available now. You can see it on demand using the Chaos Demons. Yeah, Rich, there is going to be a whole new what it looks like set of videos. I think I'm going to get some Runelord Brass Spray now, damn it. Runelord Brass Spray is really good. I'm really impressed with it. What hardware do you use for your vids? So I actually record all of my videos using an iPhone 13 Pro. And then I record any voiceover that I need to do using this, what's it called? It's just like a Jabra microphone. It's a USB condenser microphone. But I do a lot of this, so when I'm painting, right, so this camera right here, that's my phone, so it hangs off of this arm here. And then because I paint here and I'm talking to it, this picks up my voice perfectly. Chaos Demons you painted? Years. Good night, Fred. Let me know about your Titan. Maybe do a metallic 1000 Son of Blood Angels from Angels of Death to test them out over metallics. Yeah, I was thinking of that. Yeah, the Chaos Demons I painted. who are all behind me in the dark. If you check it out on Tabletop Tactics, go to On Demand, you'll be able to see all 4 Chaos Gods plus Be'lakor. It's like a Jabra. I can't remember what it's called. It's I can't remember what the microphone's called. But yeah, so I mean, typically when I'm filming videos, like I said, it's just the phone. The phone's microphone is pretty good. So, and because the phone's here, like if I just, there you go. See? So I'm here painting, and the phone's right there. So when I'm doing my tutorials, that's capturing the audio because I'm saying what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So it's then when I do any voiceover work afterwards that I have to, like intros or kind of masking over things or in the outros or whatever, and then just use this little USB condenser microphone. I do have over here, I do have a Rode NT1A, which I can use as well. And then I edit everything using my Mac. So I use iMovie. iMovie doesn't quite do enough for me though, because it's graphic potential isn't high. So I make all of my graphics in Photoshop and then port them over. So stuff like the paints used, brush used, all the text and stuff that appears, that stuff is made in Photoshop, ported over into iMovie and just dropped on the timeline. Who did you play against at Tabletop Tactics? I played Beard and the Dark Angels, and the game was very, very fun. Yeah, I would just say, when using the phone for recording, you have options to change the quality. Change it up to 1080p, 60 FPS. You'll want to do that because it improves the. You can on an iPhone 13 you can record in 4K, but I do it in 1080p 60 FPS just because my computer isn't capable of editing in 4K, which is why I don't do that. What are you excited / hoping for in the new year, mate? I am very much looking forward to not having this paint on my tongue anymore. No, I'm joking. I'm really looking forward to finding out what next year's flagship release is going to be in the summer. Because typically it's like an edition, right? So you get like, we've had AOS Dominion this year. Year before we had Indomitus. What's the next one? Because the year before Indomitus we had Contrast Paint, which was, changed my life. So what's the next one going to be? Really looking forward to that. Age of Sigmar, I'm really looking forward to seeing if there are any new factions that are going to appear. If there aren't, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of them are going to fit into 3.0. Because it's a very exciting addition. I'm hoping that the Lumineth don't get a third battle tome in under 9 months, but they probably will. 40k wise, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what Chaos Demons do, obviously. I would like Chaos Demons Codex to happen very, very soon. Just to see if they get any new models. I don't think they will for demons, but I'd be very interested to see what the mechanics are for them. Squads. Leaks on Bolter and Diamond saying partial refresh of Eldar. Yeah, I've heard that as well. That might be happening. That'd be cool. I've heard stuff about Chaos Space Marines. I've heard stuff about Eldar. I've heard stuff about Astra Militarum. But, take it all with a pinch of salt. Imperial Fist's Codex Supplement. I don't want an Imperial Fist Codex Supplement. I want a Crimson Fists Codex Supplement with a Primaris Pedro Cantor. Because if the Black Templars can get it, why can't the Crimson Fists? Some might say just as storied a chapter. Some might say that. Given as they were on all of the 3rd edition artwork. 2nd or 3rd? One of the two. I'm just saying. Crimson Fists. The next Sons of Dawn to get a supplement, please. There's a load of rangers that need updating. Seraphon, Skaven, Beastmen. Oh, I would agree. Even to a certain extent, Sylvaneth, they need a shot in the arm. Eldar definitely need a shot in the arm. I would have said that Drakari could have done with a shot in the arm, but everyone's using them at the moment, so no, they don't deserve it. I'm joking, obviously. I mean, Necron's got the shot in the arm they deserved. Blood Angels. I'd love a new Blood Angels codex with some new Blood Angels. I'd love a Black Templars level of overhaul for the Blood Angels. That would be really cool next year. Probably won't see that though. Because what we got confirmed, we've got Tau, Custodes, Genestealer Cults. That's all coming up very shortly. Azurite, Craft Worlds is supposed to be early next year, right? So what's left after that? Astra Militarum, Demons, Chaos Space Marines. Who hasn't got a codex? Is that it? Tyranids. How many have left? Knights. Ah, yes. Knights and Chaos Knights. I want some Chaos Knights. I really, really want some. What? So I've got a Knight household, which is a Castellan, a Gallant, and a Warden, and 2 Helverins. I want to do the same thing, but in Chaos. Exactly the same list, but with Chaos Knights. No Night Synthers. I can't think who else is missing a codex. I'm going to look it up now. This is supposed to be Christmas playlist, but we've had several versions of Auld Lang Syne recently. Warhammer 40,000. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Space Marines are all done, apart from the supplements. Custodes we've got, Sororitas we've got, Mechanicus we've got, Astra Militarum we're waiting, Imperial Knights we're waiting. Sisters of Silence goes into a thingy, into Talons of the Emperor, well, Custodes, so it's just kind of Imperial Agents, which probably won't get a codex, it will probably go into White Dwarf supplements. Chaos, we've had Thousand Suns, we've had Death Guard, there's rumours abound of others coming, but Chaos Space Marines we haven't had, and Chaos Demons and Chaos Knights we haven't had. So literally more than half of the faction currently. Craft Worlds we haven't had. Genestealer Cults is coming. Harlequins I think is probably going to be part of Craft Worlds, but I don't know. Necrons we've had. Orcs we've had. Tau is coming. Tyranids we haven't. Ynnari is part of coming. So it is just Tyranids, Chaos Knights, Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines, possibly Imperial Agents, Knights and Astra Militarum. That's not many left. We could be done by June. Chaos Dwarves in AOS, someone needs to keep the Hobgrots in line. The Hobgrots don't need to be kept in line. The Hobgrots are very bad. An Inquisition book would be very cool. An Imperial Agents book would be rad, but they'd have to bulk it out a bit, because otherwise it's just three or four Inquisitors. What's that? Draxus, Greyfax, Torquemada Cortez, and then the generic one, which would then be divided into Malleus, Hereticus, and the other one. So 6 different HQs and then 4 character models for the assassins. So it's like Eisenhorn, of course, 11. I think it's going to be a big year for Horus Heresy with a lot going plastic. Well, it's interesting you say that because Fafnir Ran and Dominion Zephon are both plastic. That's what they said in the thing. They both said they're plastic, which is very, very interesting. It does mean, I think, that we're going to get, like you said, a big year for plastic Horus Heresy, which is really, really cool. I found 3 of the old Screamer Killer paperweights in my old 40k box in the loft when I'm getting the Christmas deck. Very nice. I do have some of these to do. I'm mentioning Screamers. I mean, I'm ready for Codex Chaos Demons, let's be honest. Ravener. Yeah. Bequin. She could get one. Dominion Zephon has a model. He certainly does. It was announced at the Black Library open day thing preview. If you go on Warhammer Community now, you'll be able to see the new Fafnir Ran and Dominion Zephon models, which is very, very cool. I was hoping the Khan would be practiced. That would be awesome. He was awesome in Master of Mankind. Right? So I read Master of Mankind. As I was reading it, people kept going, people kept telling me that this one is the best one in the Horus Heresy, or is one of the best ones. And I was like, this one's fine. I mean, there's really cool stuff with the Emperor in it, and the thingies are really, really cool. But it's the moment when Dominion Zephon in the webway fighting the stuff and the thing, and he just goes, and Arkan Land's just like, hey, let me just, I'll just flip this switch and do that, and your bionic should feel a little bit better for like the next 2 minutes. He's like, cool, I'm going to go and save the day now in 2 seconds. And then comes, oh, it's so awesome. I'm late to the party. Is this stuff like GW's contrast paint? Silver Knight. Yes, it is. It's very much like GW's contrast paint. It's different. Same but different. So this is what we painted tonight with our tests. So this is it over metallics, and this is it over Corax White. It looks very nice over metallics, and it looks very nice over Corax White. But it does fundamentally work the same way as contrast paints. So you do need a bright undercoat. Or a metallic undercoat. And you can have something that looks like that, which is really awesome. Look how shiny that is. And as I said, that nothing has been done to that. Other than just, that is just Hive Dweller purple over the top of Runelord brass. But there we go. Right, it is 5 minutes past 10. It has been 2 hours. That is typically where we stop for the night. I hope you found that interesting, guys. Do leave a like on the stream. If you like. You don't have to. Do subscribe to the channel. The bone looks kind of dusty, chalky, or is it just me? It might be to do with the Corax White, to be fair, but it's quite smooth. It's quite a smooth coat. It just hasn't got those it hasn't got those zenithal highlights. It hasn't got those. It doesn't highlight as well as Skeleton Horde does. So it's definitely flatter, which might make it look a little bit more washed out. But it's good. It's good. Heartily recommend. We're going to go into start that again. We're going to go into speed paints in a lot more detail. Don't you worry later on. We're going to be doing the What It Looks Like series again for all of them. We're going to be doing What It Looks Like metallics for all of them. And we're going to do a couple of speed paint plus tutorials as well, using some Army Painter metallics and things like that. We're going to be doing it all, I promise. It's probably a 2022 thing, so look out for that in January. Massive thank you to the Army Painter for sending these through for me to test out and try out and play with all of you guys. I really enjoyed it. I think these are really cool paints, and there's definitely something in them. Much like contrast, if you are a fan of my work and you're a fan of contrast paints, I suspect you will probably be a fan of speed paints. But it is 2 hours. We've been going for 2 hours, as I say. Oh, this is very Christmassy. We will talk again. We'll be back next week Same Warhipster time, same Warhipster channel. Do like, comment, and subscribe. Do consider doing all of that for me, and tell your friends. Tell your friends about the Warhipster. Let's get me to 20k subscribers. Let's do that. Oh, and I should just point out to all of you wonderful people here on the stream, be on the lookout over on Instagram, and I'll do a post on YouTube as well, but be on the lookout for a giveaway coming very, very shortly. It is a Sanguinala giveaway. I wonder what it could be. There's a very important tutorial coming, but I wonder what it could be. We do have a giveaway coming up very, very, very soon. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of your support. I will see you next time. Same Warhipster time, same Warhipster channel. Happy wargaming, ladies and gentlemen. Happy wargaming.